haven't done Title Talk in quite some time. It's been about 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm going to take ownership for that. I had a pretty aggressive goal of doing a weekly Title Talk, with any goals, you know, you have to reassess. So we're at least going to have a few a month. It may not be the set time that we've been doing it, but we will update you guys about that. So once again, you know, we're going to start it. I'm LaGraize. I am the area manager here in Tennessee, and also the Title Talk Live host. And I have Patti here. Patti has been part of our agency support team now for over a few years, and I'll let her talk herself just a little bit about her newer role here, which we're really excited about. But just as a reminder, Title Talk Live is a weekly show that will probably change up to be every other week. But this show is really all about you. It's for you. It's to help you as far as education, whether it's underwriting, whether it's sales, whether it's IT, which we're going to discuss in a little bit. And if you have any input or feedback of things that you want us to speak in, we absolutely want to hear about that. And once again, if you say hello and just let us know that you're here, you have an opportunity to enter into a drawing at the end of the show. Once again, this is a very interactive show. So if you have, there's going to be a Q&A time. If you have any input, feel free to input that, and I'll make sure that I read the comments. Bonnie, good to have you here this morning.
Hi, Mom.
So, Mom's joining us.
That's my mom.
Well, that's special. Well, Bonnie, it's great to have you here this morning. Patty's going to do a great job. So, Patti, just to get started, I'll be easy on you this morning. I won't.
That's good. You know, I haven't had my first cup of coffee. So.
Right. So if you know anything about Patti, and it's okay, agents. There again, we don't want to scare you away from calling Patti if it's before 8:30, 8:30. But she is one of those employees that does need a cup of coffee or two, and then we talk. So Patti, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about your role as far as what you have done and what you're doing now?
I'll still be in agency support, so a lot of you I do talk on a daily basis. Training with agent tracks, any type of support questions, whether it's policy questions or anything within the office. I have been a go-to person for that. I'll still somewhat be doing that, but I will be moving more into SoftPro and IT related. So training on SoftPro and just getting everyone used to it and the capabilities that are within there.
Yeah. And we've heard, as you guys know, for years now, I think it's been about 8 or 9 years ago, we have tried to help our agents from a support standpoint with IT. You know, whether it's SoftPro, training your employees, IT tips. But Patti is able to actually come to your office. And so feel free, if you're a Fidelity agent, to contact her. You know, maybe you've hired a new employee that needs to be trained, or maybe you want to evaluate from a cyber security standpoint. Patti would be happy to do that. So Patti, I know this is your first time on the show. How are you feeling right now? We're talking about feelings, right?
Yeah, that's what we do, right?
Right. How are you feeling? You feeling okay?
Feeling a little nervous. It's different from a workshop.
Yeah, it is different.
Completely different.
It is. I don't know if any of you have done Facebook Live, but it is a little bit different. I mean, you know that it's being video type. I mean, you know it's being across the web. You know, the social media world. So we know there's an audience, but you can't see it. So obviously it's normal being a little anxious for this. But you're doing great.
Oh, thanks.
Well, why don't we get into what we're going to speak on this morning, which we're going to talk about cyber security and SoftPro tips. And there again, we're not going to get into a lot of depth because this is supposed to be kind of short and sweet. If you need to talk more about it, you can call us, you can call Patti, and we can do a one-on-one consultation time. So why don't you talk about, we had sent out, you had sent out a Yahoo email tip this week, an e-blast to our agents. Why don't you talk a little bit about that for those of the audience that didn't see that?
So the ones that didn't see it, Yahoo did get hacked. That's actually been their 4th hack in the last 5 years.
Wow.
They released in December that that hack before that affected 5 billion users.
Wow.
Or 500 billion users, excuse me. But what's happening is the hackers are getting more professional with it or more sly about it, and they forged cookies. So that's not guessing your password and signing in that way. It's a different way of doing that. So trying to move away from Yahoo, or if you do, then I would suggest moving to a different domain, or at least securing your passwords a lot more and doing the multi-authentication factor would be the best.
Okay. So what you're saying is the solution is moving to a multi-authentication. Now, we sent out another email. I wasn't going to ask you this. This isn't part of your script, but I know that you probably recall this. But we sent another email out, I think it was earlier, maybe the latter end of last year, about kind of our tip in not using or using public email. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So public domains are any free emails, Gmail, Yahoo, AOL, moving away from those because they're not as secure. And you can see that with Yahoo. They have been hacked 4 times and they haven't moved anywhere in the progression of securing it. So reach out to us, or if you have questions, just make sure that you're taking the extra security steps with your email.
Yeah. And once again, I think the tip here that we want to share is make sure that your email has multi-authentication. It's very important. I get emails probably once or twice a week from agents that has to do with fraud. So it's serious and it's out there. Well, can you share some tips as far as how to make a secure password? I mean, I know it's something we all have to do. You know, it's a need. So can you share some tips in that aspect?
Well, it's hard. We have 15 to 20 different sites, and you want to do different passwords for each login. And it's recommended that you use not the same password at each login, but the way that you use it is the best way to make your password the most secure. Have it at least 8 characters long. Include capital letters versus alphanumerical. So a good example is, say that I wanted to make a new password for my banking website. I could say I started 7th grade at Lincoln Middle School in 2004. Obviously, you're not going to use all of those words, but you'll take the beginning of each word, the letter, and go in between capital and lowercase letters.
Wow.
And then, so it'd be I, capital I, S, the number 7, G, A, capital L, capital M, capital S, I, and then a number sign with 2004. The more that you can get into using capital letters versus lowercase and adding anything that they can't pull off of Facebook.
Right.
They can research you and find, well, you have 3 kids. Well, obviously you're posting your kids' names on there. So refrain from using your kids' names as passwords, and that'll help secure it a lot more.
Right. Anybody in our audience want to admit on Facebook if you use your birthday? That's just a test. Do not, please do not let us. Do not let us know. Well, what do we, as far as email domains? What do we encourage there or recommend there?
The ones that I have seen is like we use Outlook, but using the security with them and encrypting them. When you do have the passwords and you have the forgotten passwords, make sure that you're selecting questions that are personable to you, but that they can't pull off of a social media site. So just research on the domain or reach out to us beforehand before moving somewhere, so we can make sure that you guys are taking the best steps possible as well.
Okay, good. Well, why don't we make our way in SoftPro? We have I would say probably about 85% of our agency base does use SoftPro. So it is something that we help our agents with. We train them. We also help them with other platforms that they use. But SoftPro it's it's a huge one that we train on. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about what Prompt Manager is in SoftPro?
So it's something that can be used within your Ready Docs, such as the taxes that change every year. You don't want to have to remember to change your word merge docs to say that. So you can create this prompt manager that asks, well, what tax year do you want to put in there? You can put 2017, or if the policy was done back in 2016, then put 2016 in there. But if you're interested in looking into that more, definitely reach out to me, and I would love to be able to show you a little bit about it.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Are there any other SoftPro updates that has happened within the last few months that our audience needs to be aware of?
Yeah, so the workshop that we had in February, the 360 update actually got moved to March 13th.
Okay.
So just be aware of that email that you will have to download the new 360 before. And then the Pro 1099 update, just be aware of that and have the new form. It is for all 2017 transactions. So you will have to go back to the previous transactions and resubmit that form. And then the big one is the report that I talked about. It is ready to be downloaded. It will allow you to be able to look at what orders were open in a specified time. What lender are you getting the most business out of? So if you're interested in getting that downloaded, reach out to me, and that's ready to go. It's free to you. It's you can put it in however many users that you want to be able to pull that, or if it's just the agency managers. So definitely reach out to me for that. It'll help if your system does get hacked and you need to send out a letter letting them know, hey, we had a security breach. You would be able to pull this report and you'd have every information in there, so you could just do a mail merge and you won't have to go into every single file.
And what is that report called within?
The
is it the order?
Yeah, the order report, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so there is a new report. We worked with SoftPro over the last really 3 or 4 months and trying to create kind of a marketing rate report. And so if you want more information about that, it is a report that doesn't come with SoftPro unless you ask them. We would be happy to help you with that. Mm-hmm. So anything else, Patty, or are you done?
I mean, I could keep going. Well, I did want to share, so we had an email, a phishing email sent out through Fidelity.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
a little test.
I fell for it, but this is good learning experience for everyone, especially when you're looking at emails on your phone. So basically what I got was something about the W-2. I had recently moved. I knew that I had an issue on my W-2, so I immediately went in and opened it, not thinking, well, maybe I should look at the email address that it was sent. So
what did the email address? Who was the email sent from?
So it came from payroll. The email address, and you'll be able to see this when we hold it up. It says memos@hrcommunication.com. And it says, payroll has completed our secondary review cycle for 2016 employee tax reporting. Please review the attached corrected 2016 W-2 for accuracy and respond back with any changes. So if you can see...
Yeah, so we'll show you the email if you can see it.
You see at the top, if you can take a look at the email address, the big thing on, especially on iPhones, you'll have to click on the sender's name in order to see the email address. So that's one clue. The second clue is that they're sending an attachment which is within a zip file. The third thing is that they only say hello. Usually if payroll emails you, it's personalizing the message, and then there's no contact information at the bottom of it as well. So you'll just want to be aware of those things when you're getting those type of emails. Question it, especially if it's coming from your banking. Never click on the link within the email. Go out to the banking website,
right,
and then, or call your bank and ask them if there was any changes done. Just don't click anything within that email.
Yeah, such a great tip. I know many of us have experienced that. I know I've gotten emails. One thing that I encourage my employees to do, because we're working so fast during the day, right? And we're just moving things. And so one of the things I encourage my employees is just, hey, look, take time. Just look at the email. Take time before you click on anything. Because it could just be the matter of a virus of you getting infected. So Great tips, Patti. How did Patti do? How did Patti do? Anyone? I think Patti did a great job this morning.
Thank
for
you.
being your first time on Title Talk Live. I do want to thank everybody for joining us. Now, if you want to utilize Patti more, once again, call her, email her. She'll set up a one-on-one time with you to consult with you and your staff, whether it's to train on SoftPro, whether it's to give you other tips to help make your office more efficient. But once again, you did a great job, and we appreciate you being part of this show this morning. And so with that, I wanted to say, and so we usually have a drawing, but I think it's pretty neat that your mom was on here, Bonnie, right?
Yes.
So Bonnie is going to win the Starbucks gift card. Hopefully they have a Starbucks in your mom's hometown. I don't know. Okay, anyway, she will when she goes to another town or city, but she will win the gift card. So thank you everybody for joining us, and thank you for the encouragement this morning. And we'll be sure to email out another e-blast on the next show. So with that, hope everybody has a good week, and we'll see you soon.